Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well this morning. Hopefully you're not as tired as me. Yeah, it's just one thing people don't tell you when you have a kid is that you're giving up sleep. Anyone watching who has had a kid will understand what I mean. If anyone's expecting or wants kids one day, just understand that when that kid comes, you're not getting any sleep, basically. My baby's now 7 months, and the only good night's sleep I've had is when I was in Madrid for one night away from the family. Yeah, so it's completely unrelated to football, but I just thought I'd give you guys a warning if anyone's expecting that you will not get any sleep. You know, out of a 7.5, 8 hours sleep I could have got last night, maybe got about 5.5 if I'm lucky. And people say, oh, that's not that bad, 5.5. It doesn't feel like 5.5 when it's broken up into like 2-hour slots, you know. So I'm not complaining about it. You know what I mean. You'll figure it out one day if you haven't already. Anyway, on to more pressing matters on this channel. The Champions League was last night, of course, and there's only one place to start really. It's Inter Milan against Feyenoord, no? Of course not. Liverpool PSG. I'm assuming everybody watching this probably watched that game, and shock, I think, is the word that I would use. I said in my preview predictions yesterday, I don't know if anyone's seen it, I did a shorts on it, just quickly on my predictions, and I was pretty close, to be fair. I said 2-1 PSG, but it goes to penalties and Liverpool win on pens. The only reason I said I knew about Donnarumma, obviously, from my hurt of the Euros in 2021. But the only reason I said Liverpool on pens was just because it felt like something was happening at Liverpool. It felt like it just felt different, you know. It felt like they could actually do something this year. That's the only reason. I'm not gonna lie, that's the only reason I went for them. I just thought Salah, maybe Van Dijk taking a penalty, and obviously I was wrong. And Donnarumma, the giant in goal again, showed how good he is at penalties. And yeah, that was the difference. He was just an absolute man mountain in goal who they couldn't get past. And we've seen it before. We've seen it actually a few times now for Donnarumma. If it goes to penalty shootout, you have to go with whoever he's playing for, basically, because he just fills the goal. I don't know if you guys did watch the Inter Milan game, but you had Jan Sommer in goal for a penalty for Feyenoord, and it just showed you the difference between Donnarumma and like a small keeper like Jan Sommer, what difference it makes. Donnarumma fills that goal. Like, you're taking a penalty. I don't know how many people are taking a penalty on here in the actual game watching, but if the keeper fills the goal, it's quite daunting, you know. And when you see a little keeper, I think you don't have a little chuckle to yourself, but in your head, you just there's so much less doubt in your head. Like, you're going to, you know that if you hit it anywhere away from this keeper, he's not getting it just because he physically can't reach it, unless he goes incredibly early. But with Donnarumma, I can imagine what it's like to take a penalty against him, and you're just thinking, where the hell do I put this? Like, the 2 saves he made in the penalty shootout last night were not even like easy saves to make. Like the Nunez one, okay, maybe it's not a great pen, it's not quite in the corner, but he's still got down and pushed it wide with 2 hands on it. Like, it's not like he's had to stretch incredibly far. He's literally just made it look easy. And the Curtis Jones one's a great save, because that's actually a really good pen. He's kept it low along the ground, going bottom corner, and he's still got there. So like, Curtis Jones got away up this morning thinking, I could not have done anything more really. But then that's when you say, actually the perfect penalty to hit in the top corner. People always say keep it hard and low. The penalties in the top corner always go in. They just always go in. If you hit them properly, they'll fly in. It's like the Harry Kane special is what we used to call it. when obviously every penalty he used to take, he'd just whip into that top left corner because the keeper cannot get that, because the time it takes the keeper to get down rather than pushing off from the starting position and going to get that, it's not enough time for him to do it, you know, because he hasn't got any momentum going towards him. When a keeper flies across the goal in a game and makes a flying tipping save around the post, it's because he's already moving that way, so he pushes off. If he's in the middle of the goal and he has no starting position, he has no chance the ball's going in the top corner. So that's why I see like Mo Salah's one, he just rifled it in. If you do go low, you have to either make sure it's hitting the side net against Donnarumma, or you bank on him just going the wrong way. That's literally, that makes it 50-50 basically at that point. But like I said, I did actually think that PSG would win on the night, because when the first leg's so one-sided, I struggle to see how they wouldn't dominate the second leg in a similar way. Obviously I know it's Anfield and it has a special relationship with the Champions League, and it just makes it that much more daunting for teams to come there. But over the two legs, you have to say PSG deserved to go through, you know. I thought they were outstanding again on the night. Oh, sorry, to make sure everything's good here. Blue flashing lights. Yeah, they were outstanding again on the night, and clearly it wasn't just a one-off, the game against Liverpool in that first leg, because they dominated in terms of chances again, and Alisson made some top saves once again. Kvaratskhelia went close a couple times. Dewey had a great shot from outside the box. Ousmane Dembele looked absolutely electric again. Like, I don't know what Luis Enrique's done to him, but all of a sudden he's reached that potential that everyone thought he would have, and he looks like an absolute monster now. Like, I don't know, for the goal they scored, obviously it's a bit chaotic in the box, but if you actually watch it, it's really smart from Dembele, because he kind of like jogs in, Konate thinks he's got him, and all of a sudden, as soon as the ball goes wide and the guy's running inside, Dembele switches on and goes, alright, boom, and sprints forward. He basically gets past Konate, which is no mean feat, because Konate is a rapid centre-back, but he absolutely blitzes him basically, and that's where the chaos gets caused from that run, where he just runs off the back of Konate, and then Konate basically doesn't know what to do, you know, he's just absolutely put the bed, like, trying to get PG. He's absolutely cracked the bed basically, and that's where it's come from. Alisson has just had the ball taken away from him. He's probably going to come and get that ball, but because of the run behind him, Konate's not even going to look that way, and he's just gone for the ball, and that's where obviously Dembele gets the nice easy finish from. But looking ahead, Arsenal obviously as good as through, Villa as good as through on our side, on that side of the draw as well. So you could potentially have Aston Villa, Arsenal, PSG, and then Real Atletico, which again, this is what I'm trying to say, that result proves that the Atletico Real Madrid game is still not dead. There is still a world Atletico get through here, and to be honest, as an Arsenal fan, I really want Atletico to get through. Not because I think we'll beat them, but I think we have more of a chance against Atletico, because Real Madrid is just a different animal in the Champions League. I think if you're banking on having Real Madrid in the Champions League as an Arsenal fan, like some Arsenal fans do, you're asking for some trouble basically, because you're playing with fire. You're basically going after the GOAT to the Champions League. That's like, it's like going up to, I don't know, Tyson Fury and punching in the face and be like, look, what are you going to do about it? It's like, you're literally asking to get smacked up. So I think we've got to be careful here with what we wish for, because also the Premier League, there's no guarantee of 5 slots next season. So with Liverpool going out, it's actually a big deal, because you would have had Liverpool, Aston Villa next round, so you would have guaranteed Premier League team in the semi-finals of the Champions League, which is big. There's no guarantee anymore. There's only 2 left. And Villa against PSG, you've got to look at it and go, if they beat Liverpool, they're favourites against Aston Villa now. But don't get me wrong, Unai Emery against his old team, I think you're going to see a very good Champions League tie there. I think Villa are going to be very stingy. They're going to know what to expect more from PSG now. I think they were quite, like I said, I think I said a couple of weeks back, PSG were a very unknown quantity. I think people in England and maybe in Europe, across Europe, you don't really know how good they are because they're so dominant in their league and they normally don't perform in Europe. It's very hard to gauge how good they actually are. And the commentator said last night at the end, they finally come of age, and it did feel like that in a way. It felt like, look, this is what they wanted this whole time, was just to be able to go to Anfield and get that result. You know, as an example, go to the Bernabeu, go to the Nou Camp, and not crumble like they have in the past. Old PSG, with that Anfield crowd, probably get battered about 4-1. Like, it just is what it is. But yeah, you'll have Villa against PSG in the next round, which, like I said, I think Unai Emery, he's quite an astute manager. I think you could see, I don't know who's in the home leg there, but if Villa have the home leg in the second game, you will see a very stingy Villa away from home. Because I think Villa back themselves to beat anyone at home, basically. And they can beat anyone at home on their day, Villa. You know, they beat Bayern in the season. They've beaten Arsenal, City. They've beaten Liverpool at home before. Like, they can do it at home. It's the away fixture there that they need to just get out of there. Maybe a 1-0, 2-1, something like that. Keep it low, keep it tight, basically. And then, if Arsenal were to get to semi-finals and PSG were to get through, it's a different PSG to what we saw in the group stage. You know, the group stage, obviously they didn't have Kvaratskhelia. They still had that front three of Doué, Barcola and Dembele, but they were very quiet. I feel like we controlled them much better than Liverpool did. Maybe that's just the form PSG are in, but it was November, so I look at it and I go, how much better can they really be? And I think it depends who you play in the quarterfinals for Arsenal. If you go and play Real Madrid and you somehow get through, the confidence you take, you don't think you're going to lose to PSG. So I think, and I'll back us to get a result away from home to PSG. But I want to just give one more shout out to PSG because I thought not only did they attack brilliantly, I thought their defence was actually top. Every player was committed. You know, that's one thing you can throw at PSG in the past, and maybe not everyone's been committed to their cause. But last night, like, they were so stingy with the chances they gave away. Liverpool peppered them on a bit early on, like you would expect. They rode out of the way. They didn't go behind, which is massive, and then they punished them. It's literally a classic Champions League away performance. It's perfect from them. So fair play to PSG. Quite an intimidating customer for the future of the Champions League, but we'll see how they do against them in the next round, assuming they get through tonight, of course. Next we'll go into Barcelona, and again, just wow. Like, I don't know how many times you can watch Lamine Yamal and just not be impressed by him. He's obviously had a hand in both the two first goals, and he's just a special kid. I don't think I need to say much about him. Like, everything's already been said about this guy, and he's 17 years old. It's mental what he's doing. Even Messi wasn't doing this sort of stuff really at 17. I know Messi was just emerging basically at 17, but he wasn't doing it at 16, I'll tell you that. Yeah, the kid's special, and Barcelona do have a chance in the Champions League now. They have a good chance. Their side of the draw is it's very hard, but Sorry. It's a very challenging side of the draw, but at the same time, it's quite a level playing field. Like, I don't see any obvious team that they were struggling against. So on our side, if I look at it and I go, Real Madrid, that's the name you see and you go, I did not want that on my side of the draw, you know. So I think they've got a great chance of going through. And I just to comment on that second goal from Lamine Yamal, like, so many players in that position are just gonna wrap it as hard as they can into that far corner. If you watch it, he doesn't even wrap it. He kind of just like clips it. He just clips it. But it's a shot. Like, it's just perfect. Yeah, the kid's just special. And Rafinha gave him 2 goals. It's hard to see them not going deep in this competition. But then you look at Inter Milan and you look at Bayern Munich, it's like, these two look good as well. Like, they looked really good as well. Marcus Thuram for Inter. Sorry. I'm not going to pretend like I've watched every single Inter Milan game this season, but he looks like he's developing into a proper number 9 there. Obviously, it's normally about Lautaro and how good Lautaro Martinez is, but I thought Thuram yesterday showed what he could be like for years to come. I know obviously he's been good. I think that's the best game I've seen him play. Obviously got yellow card for simulation, but he probably should have had more goals. He hit the bar right at the end, I think. He hit the bar, just missed, I can't remember. But I thought he was outstanding. And if they played final, so it's hard to judge them again. But I think everyone knows about Inter Milan now, and they know that they're actually a threat for this competition. So that tie went as expected. I think I went 2-0 in my predictions and 2-1. Like, I think with Inter, they're going to be hard to beat, and they've got good attackers going forwards. Would I back Arsenal against them? We've already played in the season. We lost 1-0 away, but that was a similar Arsenal in terms of we had no Odegaard. We were really struggling for goals at that point as well. And would I back us? I would actually back us if I'm assuming Bukayo Saka's back fit and he's playing Ranieri in a false 9 maybe. If he's playing Marino up front, I don't know. Sorry, I keep going back to Arsenal. Just in my head, I have to do it. I have to be like, if we played these guys in the final, would I back them? Would I back us? It's just how I look at the Champions League a lot of the time. I go, could we beat these lot? Could we beat these lot? Could we beat these lot? Like Bayern Munich, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. We lost last season to the worst Bayern Munich in years. This season, they look so much better. They look so much more free-flowing again. They barely gave up a chance against Leverkusen over 2 legs. I know Schick had a couple, and they were missing verts. When they don't have verts, they look a shell of themselves, Leverkusen. And I think this summer you're going to start seeing some of their stars get picked off, which is unfortunate, but I think it's inevitable with that. You're going to start seeing, I think Frimpong might end up getting snipped up this season. It wouldn't surprise me if United went for him. Wirtz, obviously linked to Man City heavily. I think you're going to see him get picked up by someone, and yeah, I struggle to see how they hold on to all this talent now, and that means that in the long term, I don't see Alonso being there for too much longer as well. I think once Ancelotti does hang up his boots at Madrid, you'll be seeing Xabi Alonso go over there. Who else I got to speak about? Yeah, so Inter, definitely a threat, but I would say Bayern Munich and PSG were the two this round where I was like, poof, you two are going to be serious threats for this Champions League. And I'm quite happy I'm not playing them because even Barcelona look very impressive. Like, they all looked very impressive. This is the thing. Everyone who's gone through has looked very impressive. So I think it's going to be the most competitive Champions League we've had in years in terms of who can win it and how open it is. I don't see a clear winner right now. Even Real Madrid, people will be like, oh, well, how do you say Real Madrid? I wouldn't say they're clear winners. Like, if Barcelona played Real Madrid in the final, I think Barcelona would win that. Just going off this season alone, they've battered them basically whenever they've played them. So there are flaws in this Madrid team. So it's not going to be the be-all and end-all with them. So I spoke about Liverpool a lot in this video. I need to speak about, that's because I watched that game, but yeah, Bayern Munich, I'll speak a little bit on them. I spoke about Leverkusen. 5-0 over 2 legs was not what I expected at all. I thought maybe it would be like a 3-2, 2-1, maybe a lot closer between them after last season and how they've been when they've played each other this season. But Bayern Munich just asserted their dominance over them. That's the way I put it. Like, they literally went, look, you lot little boys in the competition, sit down. This is how we do it. And they gave an education in the Champions League. It was pure and simple. Yesterday they were class yesterday. The first goal was very poor from Leverkusen. When I watched it back, I was like, how have they got 2 players through? Xhaka kind of just lets Kane go, and there's just 2 of them. There's 2 of them literally about 4 yards out. So I'm looking at it going, keeper? No, keeper can't do anything more there, maybe. And then the defence just absolutely let the man go. So that's a really, really, really poor goal. And if I had conceded that, I'd be fuming. But then the second goal was just class. Obviously they just a little clip over the top, recycled it really nicely, and the ball from Kane is just perfect. Literally puts it on a plate for Davies Bennett. It's still a cracking finish, you know. He puts it on a plate, but he's still got a lot to it. It's on the half volley. He's got to keep it down, and it's just a perfect goal. I thought Musiala looked so dangerous again, and he's the one player, whenever he gets on the ball, like last season, whenever he got the ball, I was just like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Like, when you play against that, it's like the worst thing possible, because you just think, I can't touch him because he'll just get the ball away from me. So you're kind of just at the mercy of him, thinking, just lose the ball, have him miscontrol, you know, just miscontrol it somehow. And he's just special player as well. You forget how young he is. He could have got a couple goals last night, hit the post twice. But if they keep at least saying Musiala fit going forwards with Kane there, it's gonna be problems for teams, because Elise as well was just on fire for Bayern Munich. Like, they've got so many wingers, but he's the best of the bunch, I think. Yeah, so I think Bayern are definitely going to go far in this tournament, even though they got battered by Barcelona. It's hard to tell with teams, because obviously a lot of these teams would have played each other at some point in the competition, which is a good and bad thing now, because it's like, oh, we've already seen this fixture, but it was so long ago that obviously teams go through different phases of form, and it's harder to play teams at certain times of the season, so on and so forth. Like, obviously Bayern got battered off Barcelona really last time, but would it happen again? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe companies learnt from that. He was still early in the job then. Barcelona have fallen off a little bit in their form at times since then. They haven't been perfect like they were back then. So it makes it quite interesting, the dynamic within the games, because you're thinking, oh well, if we would have beaten these lot, should be easy. It's like we played PSG. It's like, oh well, we went 2-0 against them. Like, surely we just did the same thing again. It's like, they're much more confident now. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously tonight we've got more Champions League games. I'll do a quick scores prediction on them later on. I mean, I'll throw them out there now. We'll go Arsenal 1-1. I just think we're going to play the kids, and we might even lose 2-1, but I think 1-1. I think Mikel will want to lose. Villa will go 2-0. Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. I'm split. I'm gonna go 2-1 Atletico, but I'm gonna go Real Madrid to win in extra time. I think, unfortunately, that's what I think is gonna happen. I think it'll be like 2-2 in extra time, but I'm gonna go 2-1 Atletico Madrid in 90. And then we'll go. Oh fucking hell! Sorry. And then we'll go with. Oh, what's the final game? I keep forgetting. Oh, I forget who the final game is now. Oh, why's it gone out of my head? Ah, it's gone. I've completely blanked. I've absolutely blanked it. Who's the final game? Ah, Dortmund Lille. I'm gonna go 3-1 Lille. I just think Lille at home will beat Dortmund now. I think Dortmund had their chance at home to get the result they should have got, and they didn't get it. So I think Lille will go through there. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the football tonight, and speak soon. Bye.